had pizza too.
Wild.
What kind of pizza did you have?
Pepperoni. From
The brand.
the brand, I figured.
The brand.
I'm not sure. It was there on the kitchen table when I got home.
Oh, that's bad. Well, I had DiGiorno.
DiGiorno. Classic.
Yes,
Classic.
well, I watched the Labyrinth.
Nice.
Which is the topic of today's video.
The topic of today's podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pulp Diction. Oh wait, hold on, I gotta...
Welcome to Pulp Diction. I'm your host, Dylan Gibson.
Folks.
I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. Welcome back to Pulp Diction. I'm your host, Dylan Gibson. Today we got two firsts. First in-person recording of a podcast, and first time with this particular guest on the podcast. Who am I here with?
Hello, my name is Lily Saunders. Hi. And I did not care for The Godfather.
You did not. It's like a perfect movie. What do you mean?
I never watched it, actually.
It's such a good movie. Oh my!
We know.
I'm I'm the guy in Barbie that goes like, you haven't seen The Godfather?
Yeah.
You haven't seen Coppola's masterpiece? Like, it's a thing. It's a problem. But I read the book too. The book was really good.
There's a book?
It's based on a book. Yeah.
Is it on here somewhere?
No, I read it on a Kindle.
Ugh. Why a Kindle?
Because that's where my dad had it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I got the app on my phone just...
That's really throwing me off. Why are you thinking it's thunder?
Yeah, it's fine. We're fine.
It's okay.
It's chill.
It's fine. Hello.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, Lily, would you like to introduce the film we will be discussing?
The film, yes. We are, today we've had the very distinct pleasure of reviewing the movie The Labyrinth from the 1980s.
Yes, directed by Jim Henson.
Yes!
Famously starring David Bowie.
Hello, David.
Hello, David.
Hello, David.
And
Sophie's in the room.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi,
David. We lost him.
He's dead.
God rest his soul.
He's dead.
He's
That's
gone.
funny because he's dead.
It is, yes. He is deceased. He's no longer with us.
Damn.
We're not getting through this.
This is not good. Let's start off with, did you like the movie?
I liked the movie, yeah. So if you don't know, the Labyrinth, it's a fantasy film about a girl. She makes a wish, and her little baby brother gets kidnapped by the Goblin King, who is David Bowie, and she has to go on a quest to save him. And yeah, that's the meat and potatoes of it, I guess.
Ooh. Yes.
Indeed.
But
yeah, I liked the. I was surprised how much I liked the movie. Actually,
did you?
I found it very enjoyable. Yeah. What did you like the movie? I thought so.
No. I want to preface. We came up with this idea, I think, a few months ago, like for the podcast, and we had a few trials and tribulations, and we couldn't get through it.
Oh.
But it's okay.
Yes.
But we're here now, and that's okay. But we were like, because I asked you at first, I was like, what kind of podcast is it? Like, are we like doing movies that we love, or are we doing like movies that we can like rat and dog on? And you were like, either one, and I was like, great. I had this movie that I've never seen before, but I don't like it.
So how did you have thoughts on it if you if you hadn't seen it?
I'd seen previous media. I've seen I'm gonna
you
kill
got
myself. I've seen like previous media and stuff of it, like online. I've like seen TikToks and like seen like reviews of it, whatever. And like the stuff that I knew about it previously, I was like, no. But I don't really care for 80s dark fantasy anyway. Yeah. Like there are like a few select that I do like. There's like Willow, that's good. The Goonies, and then The Princess Bride.
The Goonies isn't really fantasy. I mean
Pirates.
Okay, yeah. And Princess Bride is a masterpiece, so.
Yeah, but everybody likes that.
Everyone loves
Princess Bride, right. So, but I was like, I don't like the feeling of it, and I was like, let's just do this, because I had another movie in mind, which was The Dark Crystal, and you love that movie.
Also, well, I don't love it. I don't remember enough about it to love it.
Oh, I thought that okay, my bad.
I don't know, maybe I did.
I have no idea. But that's another movie directed by Jim Henson. And I didn't watch it. I watched The Odd Ones Out do an animation thing when he watched it, and I hated it immediately.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, we're not doing that. But, the Labyrinth reminded me of that, so I didn't like it. So journey with us as we go into the Labyrinth.
We delve in to the we get lost in the labyrinth, so to speak. No. So what didn't you like about it?
The whole movie.
The whole movie.
No, I'm just kidding. No. Well, what I knew about the Labyrinth was that the Goblin King's name is Jareth, right? And he played by David Bowie. And David Bowie was like 40s when he played the role, and the girl is 16.
Yeah, so
and the girl is 16.
Very pedophilic undertones.
Yes!
Overtones, even.
No, it's just the entire movie's pedophilia.
Yeah, he's like, I want you.
I want you, love me.
Yeah.
One of the lines in the end of the movie is literally like, love me, choose me, and I'll be your slave. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's a lot.
So
that's pretty weird.
So that took me off the movie immediately. When I was like, I'm like watching it, I'm like, it's awful.
Kind of feel dirty.
Yes! And I watched it, I was like, it's a Stockholm Syndrome of the movie.
Except,
well, that's Beauty and the Beast.
He's painted as evil. He is the bad guy. Like, he's supposed to be kind of creepy. He's the Goblin King.
Yeah, but gross. Yeah, but ew, man. Like, gross. That's a kid.
I mean, yes. Yeah, it's like... I don't know.
Well, yeah, but...
But
I'm
not getting canceled already. I don't have I have to wait until at least a few thousand subs, to get the cancellation.
Yeah. Let's see, I didn't like that. I also don't like puppets.
You didn't like the puppets?
I don't like puppets in general.
Do you like Muppets?
Yeah, that's different.
Okay.
Because they're like living creatures, right? Because that's their whole thing, and people are like, no, Muppets are like living
creatures.
Yeah,
like Kermit's, he's right
Kermit's
there.
like a dude.
Yeah, he's
not.
just a dude.
No, put it back.
That's not a Kermit voice. I don't.
No. Who was that? Who said that? Who said that, bro? Who came out of here like that? Get out of here.
Be gone.
Yeah, be gone, Kermit. I don't like puppets. I don't like the way they look and they move. I think that they're freaky and they're gross. But what I do like a lot about puppets is that when it's very blatant that the puppeteer takes it and just throws it across the scene because it's like a limp puppet going across the scene and then it pops up again. I think it's the funniest freaking thing. It's like dead and then it pops up again.
Fair enough.
I think it's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I thought a lot of the puppets were. I mean, it's creative. You have to admit, No,
I'm saying from a creative standpoint, it was beautiful. I loved the scenes. They were all beautifully done. I loved that everything was covered in f***ing glitter. I think that was so cool. Oh, let's talk about when Jareth, when he first appears, because he comes in as like an owl, right?
Yeah.
When he first appears in the window scene, his cape flutters and there's glitter coming out of that. I'm like, that's the gayest shit I've seen in my entire life. That's so funny. That's so fierce. I love it. I loved that. And he's saying like this. He's like this.
I know he is sassy, but that's David Bowie.
But that's just David Bowie.
Why else do you?
Some Ziggy Stardust came out.
During
the role for sure. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But from I hate puppets kind of person, I was watching it what the fuck is going on?
All the goblins, the what's his name, Hoggle,
Hoggle was a bitch. I hate him, bro. All my homies hate Hoggle.
Yeah, Hoggle kind of sucked for most of it.
I felt that there was not a character that I felt really drawn towards in the entire thing. There's when I watch a movie, I'm usually like, I like this character, I like this character the most.
But
I'm watching, I'm like,
connect. I liked Ludo. I liked the big guy.
That scared me the most. I did not like him.
He was so cool. I want to give him a hug.
I don't.
He looks huggable. No?
I'll take a picture with him though. Like Disney World. Say cheese. Dylan friend. Dylan friend.
Like one of the characters you would, if you're really young, your parents would try to make you stop crying for a second and then just take the picture while you're crying anyway.
Let's talk about that, because when I was 6 years old, I went to Disney World and we were in the safari section of Epcot. I'm my god.
There you go.
Like the African, like Africa.
Yeah.
And then there was like Safari Mickey, whatever. And I looked at it, I took one look and I said, I said, no, thank you. So I started crying.
Mickey?
Yes. No, it was Minnie. I apologize.
Minnie.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I started
okay.
crying, and I tried to like walk away from her, and she like hugged me tighter to her, and I was like, no!
That's crazy.
I wanted to die.
Well,
6-year-old
Lily wanted to die.
I did. I wanted to go back into that hot tub, bro.
Yeah. Jeez. I mean, judgment-free zone here. You know.
I don't like
Judgment-free on the Pulp Diction podcast.
No, not really, but it's
Not
okay.
really. No,
No,
there are
not
many
really.
judgments that
Yes.
have been made here.
Well, we're judging a movie, so.
Yeah, we are. That's
This is
that's
true.
why we're here.
Yes. I will say that my favorite puppets ever were the crazy red and orange guys that came out of the jungle, and they were like, "Ah!" and then like took their heads off, and like, dude, me.
Like, what even was that? You?
Me.
Just taking their heads off, like playing around.
Do you? It reminded me of that scene in Corpse Bride when all the skeletons were singing that song and they like taking off their heads. And
I haven't seen Corpse Bride.
ah,
I know.
dude.
It's a confession. I haven't seen it yet. I
you
have
heard
to.
it here first.
Yeah, you heard it. Breaking news.
That's awful.
It's
Are you serious?
disheartening. I'm dead serious. I've not seen the Corpse Bride.
What do you know about box trolls?
I've seen the box.
Alright,
Trolls.
good. I'm about to say, we gotta talk about that. That's a great movie.
I've not seen it since it came out.
I watched it like 8 times, I think.
Damn.
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
It was on Netflix for a while, so I watched it. It was good.
It holds up?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I mean, all those, like that's
It's
one of
Leica.
those, right?
Yeah, it's Leica.
Those all hold up really well.
But back to the movie.
Yeah, back to Labyrinth.
Back to Labyrinth. By the end of the movie, I didn't want more. Like, if I see a movie, I'm usually like, oh, I gotta have more of it. I gotta, like, see more. I want, like, a story. I want, like, more movies. Like, more movie papa. But when I sat there and I watched it, I was like...
Were you just kind of waiting for it to be over?
I had a headache by the end of it. I had a headache.
I mean, I thought it ended at it wrapped itself up decently well. Not really room for... They're making, like, a spin-off or something. Like, in the same universe. I don't know.
Why? It's done. It's over.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a pretty complete storyline.
I think it's done. It's over. It's all that it can be and it ever will be. It's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
I mean, I wonder, a part of me, this is kind of off topic,
Right.
a part of me wonders how, like, if your thoughts were, like, kind of widespread when it came out, because it was a flop in the theaters. Like,
Oh, really?
it failed financially so badly that it made Jim Henson quit directing movies.
Damn! I didn't know that.
Yeah, it kind of made a comeback on, like, home video and TV and stuff.
That
Like,
makes
people, like, it became a cult classic. But it just was a complete failure. It lost a lot of money.
Wow. People love it now.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of
It's
it.
like, it's the definition of a cult classic.
Mm.
But, yeah, I almost wonder why exactly, like, it did that. Like, if it's what you said, like, people are just scared of the puppets. And maybe it was that, like, they're just scary. And the dark fantasy thing, like, how many people are actually, like, huge.
Into that?
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I was doing with that, when I watched the movie, it wasn't scary, it was very unsettling. Like, the whole vibe of it felt like, okay, I'm gonna give you a little secret. I don't like Fraggles. Do you like Fraggles?
You don't like Fraggles?
Yeah, Fraggles?
Mhm.
Okay, so Fraggles was like this little puppet thing that came out in the 80s, right?
Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock. It's called Fraggle
Yeah.
Rock. I loved the show, but when I watched it, I got so unsettled that to this day, I can't watch but like 3 episodes. And it's all due to those caves. I'm so serious. I get scared about I can't, I'm not in the set, I'm not in the show, I'm not in the universe, but if I take one look at those caves, I'm like, I'm getting stuck. I'm getting stuck and I can never come out. I hate the Fraggles, I hate the Gorgs.
The Gorgs?
The people that were like, that like wanted to kill and eat the Fraggles.
Huh, okay. I'm very rusty on my Fraggle lore.
And your Fraggle, yeah, your Fraggle,
Fraggle roar.
My Fraggle roar.
Say that 10 times fast.
no
right?
thanks.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite Fraggle though was the I think it was like the little green red-haired guy, because he hated everything except for like making
real?
food and like eating turnips. And I was like, yeah.
Nice.
I get that,
like
man.
that
Me
guy.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate everything else for eating too, man. Me too. Yes. But that's why I don't like. But it gave me very heavily like unsettling vibes from Fraggles, and then to Labyrinth, I was like, no.
It's just
I
kind of
can't-
the same
yeah.
vibe.
It's just like the same thing. It's very lighthearted and fun, but I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't get behind it.
Yeah, I mean, it's because, like, none of it's, like, aside from, like, Jennifer Connelly and David Bowie, it's all, like, kind of this weird uncanny valley of everything is puppets.
Yes, it is. One of the scenes that I didn't like in the movie, because I didn't necessarily not like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate it. I don't like it. I'm very beige about the whole movie. But there's one thing that I don't like about the movie, and it is the screaming, like, Fraggle looking things that are like, "Rah!" and like sitting in the jungle. I hate it because it's very blatantly green screen.
Yes, I noticed that. Like, it looks pretty bad.
It's very bad. It's very bad because, like, well, what I don't understand is that, like, one of the most iconic scenes in the movie is when David
Bowie's singing the dance.
Dance Magic Dance.
It's such a good scene.
I think it's wonderful. I love the whole. I love everything about it.
It's so good.
It's not unsettling. I think it's great.
Yeah. It's just a lot of fun.
But what I'm saying is that, like, it's not is that there were puppets and they were all filmed in the set.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's all very practical.
It's all very practical, but it's in the set. There's no green screen.
Mm-hmm.
So why did we switch from the set to a green screen?
Well,
like, did we lose money?
To be fair, how are you supposed to, like, film these singing, dancing, jumping around puppets, like, throwing their heads at each other, like, practically?
Have a giant jungle set, and then with a clearing in the middle. That's that. That's all that is.
I guess
but,
so.
like, I don't know how that works, but watching it took me out of the movie, because watching it, I'm
was, like,
I'm like, that's bad.
Like, out of all the movie, like, that's definitely the most dated part of it.
But I was watching it, and I was like, this sucks. But then I had to bring myself back, and I was like, but I wonder if people saw it, like, in the 80s, and they're like, that's amazing. And they were like, you know, because, like, for that technology, they're like, that's amazing. Because, like, now we have CGI and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but even today, CGI is bad.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's the thing. Like, practical will always be, well, not always, but, like, 99% of the time, when you can use practical, you should use practical.
But what I'm saying is that now with that green, because there's a lot of CGI, but what I'm saying with CGI is that, like, sometimes it takes me out of the movie because it's very blatant that it is.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of the early 2000s movies with, like, the Chronicles of Narnia, they did Aslan, and, like, the Centaurs and everything very well. For Pirates in the Caribbean with,
Davy Jones. He was great.
That was wonderful. It was wonderful CGI. But now, like, I was watching some movie.
It's
and
like
it
Marvel.
Was I was watching a Marvel. That's what it was. I was watching a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you didn't go anywhere. You stayed on the green screen the entire time.
Yeah.
That's so lame.
That's the thing. Yeah, like, which is one of the things I liked about the new Deadpool is they filmed on location.
Yeah.
And you know, when you do that, the location, it has weight to it. Like, you can.
Because it feels like you're there.
Yeah, exactly.
It transports you a little bit better.
You do have more of that feel. And,
yeah.
I don't know, and I do think there are a lot of instances of really good CGI nowadays.
Yes.
When you use it smartly. Like, you haven't seen the new Planet of the Apes movies, have you?
Mm-mm.
But those are, like, so well done. There are parts where I'm looking at it and I'm, like, for a minute or two, I forget that these are computer-generated apes. These are not actual
They're not sentient.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, they don't exist. But there's one that I always remember, I think it was from The Hobbit, or maybe The Ring, where it was,
Gollum?
No, I think it was somebody, maybe it was Gandalf, but the guy who played this, like, old wizard, like, started crying on set because he was like...
It was Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen, yeah, because he was like...
He was on the set of The Hobbit.
Yeah.
He was on a green screen, like... He turns to talk to an actor, and there's nobody there.
And he was like,
it just breaks down.
Yeah,
like, this isn't why I became an
actor. Yes.
Because on Lord of the Rings, they did all that stuff. They built the Hobbit.
They did, and it's still there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right, and people are like, I didn't become an actor to do this. I'm like, that would break me too. That's awful.
Yeah.
That's talking to yourself.
But yeah. But you look at something like Labyrinth, and even if you like or dislike what it is, like, you have to admire just the dedication, like all these puppets, all the amount of engineering and
it's beautiful.
Just creativity that went into it. It's very good craftsmanship.
It's wonderful because I have the very distinct privilege of looking from it from both a theater standpoint and also from a viewer standpoint. So when I watch the movie for the first time, I'm critiquing it as like a viewer, and I'm like, this sucks. But then when I'm looking at it again, I'm like, They did beautifully with this, like with the set,
like,
the
the
acting.
set design,
there was
the
not
acting.
a point in time where I looked at the acting and I was like, that sucks. Like every single time, there was like jokes that hit. They were beautiful. They were on
the sense
point.
of humor was great.
Oh my god, yes it was.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that for a minute. Like there were times where like David Bowie would come on, and I have a big problem with singers being actors. I think it's so hokey and corny and played out. Like the new Wizard of Oz movie with Ariana Grande.
Yes.
I
Well,
don't like that.
Ariana Grande, like, she started as like a Nickelodeon star, didn't she?
She did. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is that now you have all this money, you have all this fame.
Yeah, and she's doing I get you. I get you.
Like she can do it, and she can do it well.
Mhm.
I know she can, but I don't really care. Like unless they're possible, I don't really care.
Word.
That's my thing. Like, but she's great though. I loved her in Victorious. And Sam and Cat.
Yeah.
She was good in that, but
yeah, I do think it's a tricky line, like singers doing acting roles.
yeah, it is.
But it has been a thing for a long time. Long
Of course
time.
it is,
Like,
yeah.
Bowie, you even go back to like Elvis and Frank Sinatra.
Elvis, Frank Sinatra, the Beatles, and all their movies.
Yeah, exactly. And
Which are great, by the way. Go watch those.
Go watch the Beatles movies.
Yes, please. I didn't think he was good looking. Young Frank Sinatra? Don't care.
Like, I mean, I guess I don't have much room to talk.
It doesn't make. I want to preface this. It doesn't make you gay if you find a man attractive.
Yeah, that's.
People don't
I agree
understand that
with
these days.
I agree with
You don't have to be gay to find somebody attractive.
Yeah, like, Henry Cavill's my man crush. I'm not afraid to admit it.
That's a lot.
And
of
it's
man
pretty
crushes.
basic.
But that's
like,
okay. But there's a reason.
There's a reason.
But there's
it's
a reason
basic.
why. But there's a reason why everybody loves him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I hate. Don't I hate when people like asking music questions and they're like, "What are your top 5 like Beatles things?" Or like somebody's like, "What are your top 5 like favorite songs of this person?" And then people name off like the most basic ones,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "There's a reason why though. Why you're naming the
Like,
most
why
popular
they're-
ones?
Yeah, they're popular
because they're
for a
good.
reason. Yeah.
They're good. Like you don't have to be like, oh, I like this like obscure like soundtrack that was released 2 years ago that I never really fully. I'm like, just say you like
No.
Blackbird and let's move on. Just say you like that
True.
one. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's alright.
Yeah,
it's a
like
reason.
the whole like film bro joke too. Like, oh, your favorite movie isn't this obscure French film about
Yeah,
a
right?
man smoking cigarettes and eating.
Wes Anderson.
Yeah, like no, I have many of my moments of like being a pretentious letterbox using bag.
Yeah.
But like my favorite movie is Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, right. Like the girl. No, my favorite movie is like Elmo Goes to Grouchland. Like, get out.
Dude, that's a deep cut.
It is. I was so scared of the movie growing up.
I loved
I
that
saw that.
movie.
I loved it so much, but I was like the monster guy. I was like, he's gonna come get me.
I had to watch that again, man.
Yeah, Elmo and Grouchland.
Elmo and Grouchland.
Yes, I loved that. I liked Barney growing up. There was one Barney movie, not Barbie, Barney, and he was on this like farm. I don't know. He was there though. Yeah, he was just there.
His farmhouse.
It was like farm and like
Crashed down from Krypton.
Yeah.
Adopted by his foster parents.
get into it because there's an alien egg.
An alien egg.
Yes, and so but it's like rainbow.
Of course.
It's like
Why
rainbow.
not?
It's like a little like, rainbow egg, and so they go around and like they're trying to like save the egg or whatever. And there's this like big bag guy, and I don't know what his deal is, but I remember this one scene vividly. And he was in his car, and in his car was like an ice cream station right there. And so he like was scooping ice cream into like this like bowl, and he was like flipping burgers in his car while he was driving. And I wanted to eat it so bad. It looked so good. It looked so good. Oh my god. Yes.
Yes.
Let's see. What I liked about the Labyrinth too was the random chickens that were there
Yeah.
in every scene. Did you notice that?
I've
There were
not every
chickens
scene.
in almost every like if it was in the castle or if it was in the Goblin Kingdom,
Yeah.
there were chickens there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. They were like, we gotta show them they have livestock somewhere, and they were like, there's a chicken on the throne. Get them out.
little lore drop for Labyrinth.
A little lore drop.
Just,
They eat food.
They eat chicken.
Yeah.
Only chicken.
There was cats there. I saw a cat.
There were cats? I don't remember.
I saw a cat in the background, and I like zoned back into the movie.
Like
I
cat.
was like, cat! The music in the movie, what'd you think?
I was a fan. I mean I liked the I was okay with like the 80s synthy kind of soundtrack and stuff.
I like
but,
synth a little bit. I can get behind it.
But I mean obviously the Bowie songs were highlights.
Yeah. I didn't care for the Stair Song when she was on the stairs.
Yeah, that one.
That was hard because he hit a couple of notes and I went, ooh.
It was a cool scene, like very like creative to do
It
the
gave
whole
me
like
dread.
Escher painting.
It gave me dread.
And, yeah, but like it's a neat feat of, and like some of the shots, I'm like, how did they pull that off? Like when he's like walking on the bottom of the thing,
and then he comes
goes back up.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's crazy.
Love that. I love that so much. I think it's so cool. I like well, it's like when in like movies and stuff, when like people like climbing on walls, they have this like square room and it turns.
Yeah,
and then that's how they film that. I'm like
Inception and all that stuff.
Even in like What We Do in the Shadows, and they're like climbing on the walls, and which is like a vampire movie.
Yeah, I know what it is.
I'm telling them. I'm not speaking to them.
Fair enough.
It's a vampire movie. Go watch it. I liked the movie. No, I didn't.
I was gonna say you're contradicting yourself.
No, I didn't.
Here.
I'm very indifferent to that movie.
Very
I will
indifferent.
say but my criticisms are like it never with the intention that I could do better.
Right.
Never with that intention. Like when I say like you couldn't hit a note, I never with the intention about I could hit that note because I know I can't. But there was a couple times I was like, oh.
But you're also not David Bowie.
But I'm also not David Bowie. I'm not Ziggy Stardust. You know what I mean? Like I can't hit that note. I know I can't. But there was a few times where I was like, I don't know. I didn't like the dancing scene.
The dance, which
when she was in like her white gown.
I wasn't.
I felt like I was in LSD.
It basically was a drug trip. Like
it was a drug because she ate like the rotten peach
or whatever it was. Yeah, but I think it dragged on. Like it definitely dragged on a little longer.
Well, it's because he was singing and he had to get his song in.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
It was that. I didn't like it because it was too many flashing scenes and I got a headache and I was like, I was like, can we continue?
Yeah.
Like, there was a scene where she was like trying to like find the Goblin King for a good 2 minutes. I'm like, he's right there! It's there! Get him!
Just go, please.
Yeah, but he was like singing to her. He was like, just let me love you and all this and she was drugged.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, but it was really weird, and I was like, okay. I would wear the dress though. But I have a big qualm with people and the Tik Tok comments because I watched like edits and stuff of the Labyrinth before I watched the movie to see what people were saying about it.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of like millennial women on there, and they're like.
That's like one of my least favorite demographics.
Yeah, and they're like, I would have let him steal me away if I was 16. And I was like, so all of you in the comments are saying right now that you do not speak to your fathers. Well, I was like, well, so you're telling, so you have daddy issues. Say that. Just say that. It's okay.
I like that your basis for like how people react to a movie too is like TikTok comments.
Yeah. Well, wait, I gotta see what you're gonna say first. I'm like comments. Like it's like a YouTube video for me. Like I wish that movies had comments on them. I could scroll through and be like, that's funny.
I mean that's fair. Like after I watch a movie, sometimes I look up some of the scenes.
I look up the reviews of them.
The reviews too.
I think they're so funny.
Yeah, it's fun. But there was a lot I liked about Labyrinth. A lot of it was very much like a subversion, I thought, of traditional fairy tales.
Yeah.
That makes
well, pedophilia.
No, that's tradition in fairy tales.
No, man, you're right.
When I'm right, I'm right. You know.
I wish it wasn't about that.
But like there are a lot of tropes. I wrote some down, but I don't feel like checking my notes. Yeah, I take notes when I watch these.
I was gonna do that. I had a notepad ready. I was sitting to watch my TV. It was right there. I remember like halfway through, I was like this. I didn't write anything down.
Yeah.
I was too busy watching it.
But and it's like even from the beginning, like the first scene is her doing that like speech, that final speech to Jareth or whatever, and of course there's the reveal like, oh, she's not actually a fantasy hero, she's just practicing lines, and this is the real world. It's normal. It's all.
Oh, was that what that was?
I mean, I think that's what the intention was for that scene.
No, I thought that was because like in the beginning, like when she was doing that, she was like just LARPing, just like playing around and stuff, and then she's like, damn, I can't remember that. And like in the final, she ad-libbed. It's like me when I'm on stage and I can't remember my lines, and I'm just like, wherefore art thou, Mercutio? And I said, so I say that instead. I feel like that when she was like, wait a minute, this isn't like the labyrinth doesn't control me.
Over me.
You have no power over me.
Yeah.
Damn. Like, you have no power over me. And then he's like, no! And then
like the
fades
end of
into the
Nightmare on Elm
fabric.
Street, just
And then fades into Joanne Fabrics.
yeah.
And then leaves.
But yeah, there was that whole thing. There was the bit with the fairies, like when right before she enters the
And, like,
labyrinth, where like she thinks they're these cute creatures or whatever, and then they bite her because they're
I like
just
that because that
they're
actually
pests.
that is how fairies are.
Yeah.
Like in like traditional like Irish and Gaelic folklore, they suck.
Yeah.
There's like fairy traps everywhere. Don't step into a mushroom ring.
Yeah, they're
It's
just
like
magic pests, and
Yeah.
that's how they're treated here, which is like very contrary to the like Disney
Tinkerbell.
image, Tinkerbell,
She's a
like
pest
fairy
anyway.
godmothers, that sort of deal. And just also, I'm gonna check my notes. I can't
That's okay.
BS much more.
There was well, that's how my mind works. I just BS my way through everything. I liked the costumes. I thought it was very
The
beautiful.
costumes were cool.
I would wear her dress.
Everything about set design and production design was immaculate.
I can't find a flaw within the production or with the the green screen was very 80s. It had to happen.
Of course.
So I can't bash on it too hard. If it was like today and I saw a really bad green screen and it like wasn't a bit or a gag, I'd be like, wow, what are we doing? It was like, oh my god, it's a green screen, like that's funny. I'm like, that's lame.
Yeah.
That's lame. What are we doing here?
Like Black Widow or something.
Oh. No hate.
Let's see. I would
That's
hate
not
on
right.
Black Widow.
You what?
I mean the movie, not the character. I don't know. I didn't like the movie.
I never watched it.
Yeah, don't bother.
I remember you telling me about that movie and you were like, did you watch it? And I was like, no, and you were like, don't. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't like to be negative about movies, but when I am, I'm like,
Don't watch it.
yeah, I'm
Please
very
don't watch it.
very don't bother. Watch the sequel trilogy episode to see me hate on a movie.
Did you not like that?
I was not a fan. I just rewatched them. I gave them another chance too. I'm like, the Star Wars sequels. I'm like, maybe I'll like them this time around.
I've never
No.
watched a full Star Wars movie.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I've seen enough clips online to watch an entire movie, but I've never sat down and watched it. But I know all the lore, but I've never watched one of the movies. It's okay.
I'm speechless. I'm
I've gotten the disappointed dad look.
I'm not mad, just disappointed.
Yeah. Don't the gang can't not they can't let the gang know.
That's crazy.
I've watched The Mandalorian to hell though.
I know you have.
Yes.
Man.
Thank you, Pedro Pascal. With the role of service. Loved it.
Amen.
Like I know a lot about the Star Wars lore. Like
all right, we're back. We had technical
Hi.
difficulties.
his camera died.
My camera died. So I think I was talking about like how it subverts like fairy tale tropes and stuff. Like at the beginning, the stepmom is like, she treats me like a wicked stepmother, no matter what I say, when she's not that bad.
Yeah, I will say, like, I didn't know it was a stepmother at first. Like, that was the one thing that, like, her saying that, like, gave it away that she was a stepmother. So I didn't know that at first, and I was like, damn, okay.
There was that. There was the fairies, like I mentioned
fairies.
earlier. I'm struggling.
The fairies are bad.
I like that she tried to do that thing when she was going around where she marks where she was going.
Very handsome, like, riddle of
labyrinth.
her.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or like the Minotaur labyrinth, right, in Greek myths with the guy and the yarn. And it doesn't work out for her because they just shift everything around.
Because this little troll goblin
like,
thing is like, it like opens the thing, it's like, and then like flips it over.
It's
like,
so funny.
Damn. I think that's funny. I liked, it felt very Alice in Wonderland-y.
Yeah.
A little bit with some of the creature design, like with the doors and like the knockers.
Yeah.
And he had to like take the knocker out of his mouth to talk.
Yeah.
Like,
that was very Jim Henson, I thought. Like
that was very good, I think.
Yeah. I talk about Alice in Wonderland, like that random worm guy.
Hello. Did you just say hello? No, I said hello. But good enough. Like
my brother walked into the room when I was watching that, and he looks at the TV and he starts laughing, and he goes, he he's like a smiling Friends character.
He is. I love Smiling Friends.
It's such a good show.
Oh my god, it's so good. Please, that show is so
after
good.
he said that, I couldn't unhear it. He's just like, hello.
Yes, hello.
Like, Hadel created this guy.
Yes, he did. That is so, dude. I'm mad. I don't know how I didn't think of that. That's so.
I don't know how I didn't think of it either.
That's so funny. The Smiling Friends character. It absolutely is. That's so right.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
And the movie's just funny. It's a funny movie.
It's a funny movie. For as much as I don't like it and that it unsettles me, it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some jokes in there. Where I'm like, I can't laugh because that's too funny that I can't laugh. All of a sudden I'm like,
You just have to appreciate.
I gotta appreciate it. Where I'm like, damn,
like
that was really good.
That's a good joke, right?
That was like in I watched the movie A Monster in Paris recently.
Oh yeah.
You gotta watch that. That's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's animated. It's a French movie.
Oh wow.
But it had like an English, but it was made for France and for. I actually don't know. I might be spitballing, but it was a French movie, so I don't know if they made two versions of it, where like one was English and one was French.
Right.
Because it doesn't look dubbed. Like it's like made for like English. But Vanessa Paradis is she plays one of the main characters, Lucille. Vanessa Paradis was the wife of Johnny Depp.
Huh. Okay.
She's great. And then Sean Lennon plays one of the characters and sings in it.
Really? Is that why you watched it?
No.
No.
No, because I saw a TikTok about 3 years ago, and I watched it about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that looks amazing. I'll watch it. And then I was like, Sean Lennon's son. Cool. And then now I'm like, Sean Lennon! And now I'm like, the Beatles! Yes! So I can appreciate it more now. I'm like, that's amazing. Right. But like the comedy of it, I'm like, that's so f***ing funny. I can't laugh. I'm like, my mom was doing schoolwork because she's going back to college for her major and PhD now.
Cool.
And she's on her desk on the computer, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, did you hear what he said? That was so f***ing funny. And I'm like, watch this. This is funny.
It's funny.
It's funny.
Funny movie.
That isn't funny. It's a funny scene. That was funny. Do it again. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, funny movie. Yeah. Like, that's how I felt.
Like an otter, just.
Yeah.
A seal.
A seal.
Whatever they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Speak. Ah. More movie. Yeah. That's how I felt.
Losing brain cells by the minute.
You had some?
Only a few. A select few. They were already like.
I know you're already like gone, but
it's over.
It was good. I don't like the movie because it unsettled me, and there were themes and depictions in it that I don't like. But the thing is that it was very odd for me because I don't like the Goblin King. But there were scenes where I could appreciate the character. Like he is very like alluring and very like mysterious, and there's that part that like wants to be drawn to him.
Yeah.
And then I'm like.
And of course he has that like star power appeal about him. Which I mean they had to cast someone like charming in that role. I think. And it worked out pretty well, more or less.
I think because he is so mysterious and he is so evil and like scary, but he's also very like magical. Like there was this like whimsy about him that you're like, you just came into my room to steal my brother and you have glitter coming out of your cape. Yeah. What the f*** is going on? Like
man puts on the show.
Literally, yes. It's like it's the most like he's like theatrical with everything that he does.
Yeah.
I don't like he doesn't wear a cup though.
Yes.
Let's talk about bulge. That. Let's talk about the bulge.
It stared at me first.
Officer, please
it's just
yeah.
It's just there.
It's
every
bad.
scene like
it's bad.
It's just like that rally gif.
Yeah.
The one?
The Markiplier in church and he's like. Yes.
It's like
That's how it was. Yes. For those of you who don't know, David Bowie's character wears it's like a ballerina almost, right? Where they wear like the shirt and then he wears like tights in the bottom. But he wears no cup. He wears no sports cup at all.
So it's there.
So you see it.
Yep. Just.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very much that. It's very much like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's fine. It's fun.
No.
Those are two things it's not.
No. No.
But
let's talk about. I actually don't like ballerinas. I don't like even seeing ballerinas with the cups in. I think it's very. I'm like, I don't want to see that when I'm watching you.
okay.
I don't know. But like even then, I'm like, okay, that's weird.
Just not a big ballet guy.
No, I love ballet. I listen to
yeah.
ballet all the time.
Okay.
I just don't like watching it.
Okay, I got you. I think I got you.
A little bit. I don't know.
A little.
But no, I love ballet. I love listening to it. I was on track to be a ballerina.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then I got stage fright, so I didn't do it. But now I do theater, and that's infinitely worse.
That's so much worse.
Mhm. Well, think of it this way. The only way that I think of it is that I've been embarrassed and humiliated so many times that.
So you're numb.
I'm like that one Gumball on Darwin thing. Like when they were like dignity, we don't have that anymore. I'm like, yeah, me too. Like,
Word.
like I've forgotten my lines so many times on stage in front of a full house that I'm like, you can't physically embarrass me anymore.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it? Like if the movie, I won't watch the movie again. Like if I had the choice to, I wouldn't. But if it's on the TV, if I'm at someone's house and they have cable and they're watching that, I'm like,
you're not gonna ask them to like.
I'm gonna watch it with them. You know what I mean? 'Cause,
yeah.
like I enjoyed it enough to the fact where I'm like, I can stomach it and I could sing along, right? But I'm gonna be filled with dread afterwards. Because I hate movies that elicit dread in me.
Just not gonna sleep well.
Never again.
Never again.
Never again.
I see the goblins every time I close my eyes.
Yeah.
Jareth speaks to me.
No! I hope he doesn't. Sit there late at night like this.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. No!
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was surprised by, like, how much I did, like, there was to actually appreciate.
Yes.
For me in the movie. Like, there was this little detail near the beginning. You mentioned earlier where the wild things are. Did you mention that? Say that?
No, but that's the movie. It was like the book where the wild things are.
The book where the wild things are is in her room, and like, you know, it's another story about somebody like wishing
that wants to go away.
Things were different, so he
yeah.
goes away to a different world, and it's a whole thing. Learns some lessons along the way. It's
a very good irony.
Yeah,
it's a very good creative irony of it.
Definitely.
You know, but I feel like it's but the even if you can't like a movie, but you can relate it to some point. Everybody at some point in their lives, if you haven't, you're broke. Like. Not as in money, as in like you're broken kind of way. Mm-hmm. Of like if you haven't wanted to go and live in another universe for a little while.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, everybody's had that.
It's
you know?
wish fulfillment. You know?
It is. You know what I mean? You know, like so you don't like what's going on here, so you want to go somewhere else. That's very much. That's like what the shift talk is. Do you know what that is?
I know. Of
yeah.
It, yeah.
That's crazy. There was no part in the movie where I was blatantly like, "Is this on purpose? Was it not?" And I say that because I was watching one of the Beatles movies, the first one, Hard Day's Night, that came out in 1964. And so there's one scene where they're like doing interviews, this like press view or whatever, like in the movie, right? And some of them, this like one lady, she's like talking to Ringo, and she's like, "Are you a mod or a rocker?" And he was like, "No, I'm a mocker." And she was like, "Ah." And so it's like basically
very British.
Yes, and so it's basically just a whole bunch of that, right? But there's one part of it where Paul talks and he goes, "No, actually, we're just good friends." And it happens twice. It happens twice before you see what the actual context was. And the scene plays and it's a guy and he goes, "Are you close with your father?" And he goes, "No, actually, we're just good friends." And I don't know if that was supposed to be a gag or a funny joke or if they just f***ed up the editing. Because it happened twice and there was no context. Mm-hmm. It was the same thing, exactly the same. It's just the same, but just spliced and clipped in twice. In between, it was like Paul, then John, and then Paul, and then there was like Ringo and George, and then it was the actual, like, what the scene was. And I sat there and I'm like, I can't even laugh at that. Is that funny or not? Is it supposed to be funny or not? So I'm glad that there was nothing like that in the movie where I wasn't like, there was no point in the Labyrinth where I was like, was this supposed to happen or was it not?
Right.
You know, there was something that, like, took me out of it. There was one part, though, where I saw a string.
Really?
I saw a string. There's one part when they were in the Goblin City, and they're, like, all, like, the weird rocks come in. Because Ludo can talk to rocks!
Yeah, because they're friends.
That's crazy.
They're friends with the rocks.
Maybe that's it. Pet rocks!
Pet rocks?
That's where that came from, probably.
I think pet rocks were a thing before that.
Let me live my fantasy.
Okay.
Let me live my dream.
We won't crush your dreams. Maybe another time.
But yeah, I'm saving it for a rainy day. Yeah. But no, there was this like fuzz. I don't know like what. It looked like a cat toy, but I don't know like what the context was or like why it was there. But it was like on the wall and it like drifted down, and then I saw a string pull it back up out of frame, and I was like, ah. There you go. Like there it is. It was like that. And I was like, oh yeah, Leo. I was like, there it is. And I was like,
just immersion breaking.
Yeah. And I was like, that's funny. Damn. Continue.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for the most part it was very deliberate and well done with
all of it was very well done.
Keeping it like within, not breaking the illusion, maintaining the illusion, like Bruce Campbell says in Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
Yes.
Like there was nothing nothing took me out of it where I was like, this wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But that, like there wasn't anything that I was like, oh, like this could have been done better. I was like, no, this is as good as it can be because it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like from a viewer standpoint, like not from a viewer, but from like a technical theatrical
filmmaker,
like a
whatever.
Yeah, right. I'm like, this is a masterpiece movie.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Incredibly
it's timeless.
well done.
There's a reason why it's timeless and why it's loved.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's obviously like the production aspect of it. It's very good. And it's like very much like I was talking earlier about how it subverts like a lot of fairy tale tropes, but it's also like it goes all in on like a lot of fairy tale traditions and stuff. Like she learns a lot. It's like a lot of lessons and stuff that she learns along the way. I feel like it's almost
like not everything is real. Like nothing is like real. Oh my god!
Be careful what you wish for.
Be careful what you wish for. Like reality isn't always what it is.
Yeah, don't take things for granted.
Yeah.
Yada yada. All these like life lessons. It's
like fairy tales teach.
Very fairy
because like fairy tales were like made to teach kids lessons. They're like it's like
don't talk to strangers.
Don't talk to strangers. Don't fall in love with old men. Like it's very much that. There's one where it's like George Washington and the cherry tree. Like the apocryphal.
Yeah.
Well, enough people in Sherman. I did. I say it whenever I can because you sound smart.
Apocryphal.
Apocryphal.
Big word.
Yeah, I know, right?
Fun to say, too. Apocryphal.
Apocryphal. The actual movie.
I thought a lot of that, like, talk about things feeling real, a lot of the dialogue and stuff it was natural. Very cheesy. Well...
Oh. I thought that the way that, the David Bowie interacted with the puppets felt very natural.
Yeah, well, ironically enough, like, as it went on, like, got more into the fantasy thing, the dialogue felt more natural. But, like, to begin with, like, with Jennifer Connelly especially, a lot of the dialogue felt kind of cheesy. But I didn't think it was cheesy in, like, a bad way. It's like you watch Star Wars, and the dialogue's not necessarily realistic. Yeah, but it's charming. It's charming dialogue. It's unrealistic, but in, like, the way that fairy tale dialogue is often.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there wasn't a point, because there was a thing where, like, a lot of, like, kid actors, like, they don't know how to, like, portray, like, the realness of, like, their tone of voice, all this stuff. And that's not a bad thing. That's just being a kid and not having a lot of experience.
Right.
Like, that's a normal thing that everybody goes through if you're a child actor. Either if you're in, like, theater, like, stage, or if you're in, like TV, screen, movies, whatever, you know, like, you gotta discern it, right? But there wasn't ever a point in time where I was, like, with her dialogue, because I was like, she was like, oh, I don't know the way out, but like the way she said it, it wasn't like, I don't know the way out. It was like, I don't know the way out.
Dora.
Yeah, literally. But she was like, I don't know the way out. And I'm like, neither do I.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, we're in this.
Yeah. No, you definitely felt like the hopelessness of the situation.
Yeah, you know, where it's
and like every time something went wrong, you're like, oh.
Yeah, you're
like he turns the clock and
when she fell through the hole. Death.
With the
hand puppets. Let's talk about that. That was so cool.
That was, I know. I'm like, this is so creative.
With all the hands they pulled together.
What were they called?
Hands.
Helping hands.
Helping hands.
I'm like, this is so creative.
Yes.
And they do the thing with the talking.
And some of them they like go like this, and some like.
It's so creative.
Some like from like this, and there's two on the bottom, and they like talk like that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's so cool.
What a good idea.
It's such a good idea.
Yes.
And like. The movie's full of good ideas and stuff like that, but like that's one of the highlights.
That was creative.
It's so
that was crazy.
You just have to appreciate just like Jim Henson was a genius.
He was an absolute genius. I loved him.
We're never having anyone like him, but
no. Brian Henson, his son, did good on Muppet Christmas Carol.
He did a wonderful job on Muppet Christmas Carol. Like that remains my favorite Muppet movie, and possibly my favorite Christmas movie.
Yes. Did you like Treasure Island? Did you watch Muppets Treasure Island?
It's been a minute since I watched
That's such a good movie.
Treasure Island.
The little boy in Treasure Island, Legit, I'm so serious. He's in like any other Muppet movie ever.
Really?
His like career was like Muppets. Like literally like that. It's just him.
That's
just there.
awesome.
Love him.
Imagine that. Imagine growing up working with Muppets.
I think that's so cool.
I want to meet Kermit.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, you were saying.
Okay. I can't.
Okay, bud.
I want to meet Paul McCartney, so it's like I can't say anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to meet David Tennant.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever.
We all got those.
We all have those people.
Mm-hmm.
But you watched Twisters, didn't you?
I did just watch. Watch the previous episode of the podcast where Emma Jo and I talked about Twisters.
Yeah. How did she like Glenn Powell?
How did she like Glenn Powell? She was a bigger fan than you are. She's
I don't like him.
She has pretty basic men taste. You don't like him? Like you just dislike Glenn Powell?
Well, no, I don't find the hype.
Oh, you
in
just
him.
don't think you think he's overhyped.
I think he's unattractive.
Mm.
I think he looks like a less attractive Luke Wilson. That's what I think.
I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it.
I just don't see the hype.
Are you seeing people say he looks like a capybara?
No, but I'm thinking about it and I can see it. He's a very sweet guy.
Yeah,
Love him.
Really,
I love him.
Real sweetheart.
Yeah, but I just don't see it.
But he's
the
just
appeal.
not the.
He's
yeah.
very basic to me. He's not unattractive. What I'm
Mhm.
saying, he's conventionally, which is why I don't like him. It's not like David Tennant. He looks weird. That's why I like him. Like I can say that he doesn't look like an average person. Like he doesn't have like the jaw like the so I like him.
Mhm.
He looks he looks kooky. He's cool.
He's
Love
just
him.
a wacky little.
He's a
character.
wacky looking dude.
He's just a silly little guy.
Yes. Like I have all different types in
Of
there.
course.
From like David Tennant.
Pedro Pascal.
I'm not super hype on him anymore.
Really?
I think he's attractive, but I'm
Character
not.
development.
Yes. Right? I've grown. It's David Tennant. I like You had to throw that in there, didn't you, man?
I had to get one in.
Yeah,
you know?
short joke. Yeah, that's funny. We're all laughing.
I am.
I know you're.
I'm my own target audience. Okay?
Yeah, I think I'm funny. My comedic genius knows no bounds. Yes. Tom Hiddleston, I think he's attractive,
Mhm.
and he. I think there are people that I think fall into like the category of Henry Cavill, and like people that like have that sort of like look and glow about them. I feel like Tom Hiddleston fits that.
I get you. I
Like,
think I get
They
it.
have that. Maybe because they're both British.
Maybe.
Maybe that's it.
Just like
Like
you know,
they have like the jaw.
almost
They have the hair.
almost stoic, black-haired British men. Like
Mm.
just the jawline.
Yeah, the jawline,
Yeah.
just like the looking into the distance, the smolder.
Yeah, the smolder.
The smolder.
Yeah, that's what does it.
Yeah, the smolder.
Yeah, you
That's
think
good.
you think Bowie had a smolder?
Dude, he was mewing the entire movie.
He was.
But then
He
he's
didn't-
literally saying the power of voodoo. That's what he's saying.
Voodoo, you do.
You do. But like he like flattened his lips in porcelain. He's like you do.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like that.
Talk about a wacky guy.
Yeah,
That's-
I like that.
Bowie's like peak
Wacky guy.
Peak wacky guy. Yeah.
And I love him for it.
Yeah.
Like he was great. Did you know? I didn't used to like the Beatles.
Really?
I didn't used to like them. I'm obsessed with them, by the way. I love them. I love the Beatles. I didn't used to like them.
Mhm.
I didn't used to think any of them were attractive. I'm so serious. I looked at all of them and I was like,
Ew.
and I was like,
Ew.
same thing. Like the girl, like the brat, so she's like, ew! Like, I thought it was the same person, same thing, and then I got into it, like, I think back in March. I started listening to music, and this is good.
Mhm.
And then I was like, there's lore. Now I love them. And then I'm like, I was John for a while.
You were
I was like,
John fan.
yeah, I was like, I love John. And then I was like, is Paul McCartney's kind of, and then I like looked at him and I was like, Paul McCartney!
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Yeah, I was like fainting, screaming, swooning. Yeah. Ah! Literally like screaming. I was like, oh my god, Paul McCartney! So love him now. But like, cause they all look pretty wacky. Was there anything that you would change about the Labyrinth now that we're getting back on topic?
Okay, yeah. Shoot, that I would change? I don't think so. I mean, I think it's such a pure, like, just unfiltered. I love to see, like, just an unfiltered creative vision, like from a director or a writer or something like this, where it kind of just feels like the studio handed him a blank check to make whatever the hell he wanted.
Yeah.
And just got creative freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I think, you know, the passion for the project really shines through and stuff like this. And, you know, it carries over to the viewer. Like, you can just feel how much love went into.
Yeah, there's not a point where I was like, where, I felt like, like a scene was only done because they didn't have the funding for it. Like, it didn't feel like, it didn't feel like anything was sacrificed for the movie. It felt like, like, there were scenes in it that he wanted.
Like, this is what he wanted, and this is how it came out.
And this is what he wanted, and he got exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful, it was majestic.
Yeah.
I loved, like, it was, like, from a critique, from, like, an enjoyer's point of view, I loved it. I thought that it was such a beautiful movie. Like, it was just even from the way that, like, the puppets, like, some of the, like, the eyes blinked. Like, that was beautiful.
It's
like,
so good.
It was wonderful. I loved all of it. It was great. I won't watch it again. I don't like it from a viewer standpoint. Freaks me the f*** out. But
fair enough.
Yeah, but I love it from, like, a creative point. Where I'm like, you did, like, the costumes were so beautiful and timeless, and, like, I know where they got some of the inspiration. Like, there was some very Cinderella-ness in it. There was, like, the masquerade ball was very 1780s.
Oh, yeah.
It was very much, like, here's my fantasy ballroom scene, let's put it in.
Mm-hmm.
It was, like, there was a lot of different aesthetics that went into it.
I was gonna say, like...
Yeah, because there was, like, fantasy, because there's... What I loved about it a lot is that there was all aspects of fantasy in it. Because there was, like, the garbage scene, and that was all gross and grotesque. Yeah. And there was, like, the bog of eternal stench. Mm-hmm. But then there was also that, like, ballroom scene.
Yeah.
It was very Princess Bride. It was very, like, beautiful, majestic, but it showed all the different, it showed good and terrible parts of it. Mm-hmm. Even, like, the ballroom scene, it was beautiful, but it was unsettling because you knew what was going on.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
it was almost
like,
like
it's all like a fever dream.
Yeah, like, it's, it was kind of like a thing where it was like reality can be beautiful, but, like, it's not always what it seems, kind of thing. It was very heavy on, like, it's not always what it seems. Like, that kind of thing.
Oh, totally. Like, the perception versus reality.
Yes,
type.
yes, where it's like you might be enjoying something might be, like, beautiful and lovely.
But it's not.
But real. Think about it. Mm-hmm. Like, because it's not good. Because she did think about it for, like, a moment, and she was like, oh my god.
And then, like, the next scene where she gets back to her room. And it's, like, still in the junkyard.
Yeah, and she's like, this is just stuff, it doesn't matter. Like, I need my brother back.
She has a realization about her toys and crap. Like, it's all crap.
It is. What I thought, do you know what I loved? I loved when, because I thought this is very realistic. If, even if she didn't love her baby brother, right? Because she was like, oh, brother. But as soon as he was gone, she was like, oh,
yes.
She was like, I need him back.
Like, peak sibling relationship.
Yes.
Like, you can genuinely hate each other at times.
But if
like,
something goes wrong, that's my brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, get away.
When the chips are down, like, you'd throw everything on the line.
I'm dying for you, buddy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I hate you. Go die. But I'm coming for you, bro.
Like, nobody kills you except me.
Yes. Nobody hits my brother except for me. It's very much that kind of energy for it, and I loved it, though, because it felt... Because, like, a lot of movies are kind of like, I hate you, I wish that this happened, and then the person goes away. It felt like Home Alone, where it was like, yes, my family's gone!
I made my family
and it disappear.
It's classic.
And then has it, like... Ah! Yeah! Like, but he was very, like, excitable about it, right? But it was supposed to be because it was funny, and it was like,
Yeah. And of course, in Home Alone, he does eventually have that,
want
like,
it back, But if I was 8 and I was Christmas and I made my family disappear, I'd be like, I'd be like, oh my god.
What have I done?
No! Right, but I thought that was very realistic because, like if I ever had, like, a brother and I didn't like him at all, and then, like, go kill yourself, right?
And then the Goblin King.
And the Goblin King, some random guy came in and got him. I'd be like, I want him back. You know what I mean? Because she didn't have that realization of, like, I might not like him too much, but that's not my brother. My parents also are going to kill me. So you got to add that onto it, where it's like, my parents are going to kill me if I don't get this kid back. Right? So it's like, I don't like him. I think, like, where it came from first was, like, my parents, and then she was like, my brother.
My brother.
Yeah. Where it was like, I want him back. Because she wasn't like, give me the baby back, she was like, give me my brother back. Mm-hmm. It felt very much like that, where I was like, hey, like,
that's a good observation. I hadn't thought about that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll give you credit where it's due.
Yeah, thank you. I thought that the owl thing was very odd.
It was interesting. Yeah.
I think it was supposed to be kind of like a thing where it was a moment. I can't think of the word still.
Animorph.
No, that's not that. I felt like they're trying to say that he was this, like, guardian of some kind, because owls are very, like, wise and guardian-esque and stuff like that. And like, he was, like, the guardian of, like, the boy. Do you know what I would have liked in the movie? Instead of him being pedophilic towards her, I would have liked a little bit more if he had this like son or whatever of the kids and they died. Something and he was
was trying to like live vicariously through what's his face, Toby.
Through Toby and like the girl. If he was like you need to get here in 13 hours, which is a very weird number by the way. Why not make it 15? Make it 13? That's crazy. Because 13 hours. But anyway, I digress. If he was like, if you don't get here in 13 hours, you're both gonna be my kids, and I'm gonna be like your new dad. I'm your new dad now. That's it. I'm your new dad. Like that would have been so cute. Like found family type.
Instead, it's like, I want you, I did this for you.
I did everything for you, and I'm exhausted. Choose me, love me, pick me, and I'll be your slave. What? Yeah.
You're weird.
Yeah.
You're weird.
Weird.
I need an adult.
Yeah. I'm feeling a trusted
Police.
adult.
Police.
Police. Help. Help me. Like, I'm calling the police.
Yeah.
We have to call the police.
Yeah.
It was very much that, where I was like, oh, okay, it's cool. What's that? What's going on? Damn. But I don't know. Maybe that's the one thing that I would have changed about it.
Yeah, that's
there was
fair.
no point in it at all where he was like to the point of pedophilia though. Where like he never like kissed her cheek.
It was pretty much an undertone for the most part.
You know, it was like it wasn't ever like a
like an overt.
Yeah, he never like kissed her cheek. He never like held her close. He never like touched her. He never
like a chin.
Yeah,
thing,
he never like
riz.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh. Yeah, no, never rizzed up. Never like caressed her cheek. The only thing that he touched her was when he danced with her.
Yeah.
And he was like,
that's true.
It was like it wasn't on the waist. It was on like the back. I was on her back and on her hand. So it's very like respectful.
It's relatively tasteful.
Yeah, right. As much as it could be. Like he's singing this song about love and stuff to her.
Yeah.
And, you know. Do you know what I also learned? That the baby is Toby, right?
Yeah.
But the actor's name is also Toby.
Yeah.
So like, I like how like they didn't change the baby's name.
They originally had a different name for the baby, but they made it Toby because he wouldn't react.
To it. Yeah. So they're like Toby Williams. It is.
Yeah.
So like Toby whatever it actually is.
Yeah.
There's like Toby.
What I thought was funny. So I read a little bit about the movie. I guess in the dance magic whatever scene you know, at the beginning, the baby's crying. He's surrounded by the goblins and
I read this too.
Yeah, and I thought, my first reaction when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, that baby's definitely, like, scared shitless.
Yeah.
But, like, apparently, that was, like, the beginning was filmed after all the dancing stuff.
Yep.
And all that was, like, him actually having a good time. And they had to wait until he was tired, and he wanted to take a nap, so he was actually crying.
Yeah. Like,
which is so funny to me. Like, he was just having a great time.
He was having a wonderful
all these,
time.
Like, puppets.
Yeah. He was having a wonderful time with David Bowie. I loved that, because, like, any time with, like, the baby and David Bowie, I never got the point where he was like, oh my god, gross. It was always like, the Goblin King always was very fatherly towards him, and I was like, that's kind of sweet, actually.
He's quite fond of the little guy.
Yes, quite fond of the little, it was like, oh, she's quite fond of this little fellow. I'm like, that's adorable.
I know.
Yeah, like, that's your son.
Like, those were such a highlight of the movie.
Just it was so cute. Like,
Jareth being silly.
Dad Jareth.
Yeah.
Dad Jareth. I'd pay money to go see Dad Jareth. Like, let's go see Dad Jareth instead of, like, a weird guy.
I was gonna say, maybe he'd pay money to see you.
No! Gross. Do you think that if you were in the labyrinth, and do you think that you would survive it?
I think I would die. Like,
I would die.
I
would die.
Yeah,
there'd be a point where
I would not learn any lessons along the way. That's how you actually get through the labyrinth, not by like thinking, because it doesn't make sense. You learn lessons. You make friends with people.
I would have seen Ludo, and I would have been like, damn.
Like, oh, man, sucks for you.
I would have gone, damn, and then walked away. That's how I would have went.
Yeah, and he kind of carried too, like with all the rocks. And
oh, that was so funny.
It was.
Did you getting back to the movie of choice? We've been off that for like 30 minutes.
We went on a long tangent.
We've been gone.
Yeah, I guess we can wrap up the main topic.
Yeah. Would you if there was a second one, would you do it again? Would you watch it again?
A second Labyrinth?
A second Labyrinth?
I'd go see it, probably. Like,
I wouldn't. David Bowie's not in it.
True. You know,
he's not gonna be there.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't. Who do they cast in place of Bowie? Like, who?
No one can replace him. Like,
no, he's irreplaceable.
You literally can't replace him.
Yeah.
Like, is there like reboots and shit?
Keep talking.
Like I get people who can do like reboots and stuff of that. You really can't replace like once like what a good actor was. It's like that. Remember that thing where like No Olympic Kid came out and they're like hashtag not my Roderick?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna say something real quick. I watched the movie with Not My Roderick in it.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Really?
I liked it. It was great. Like it wasn't the original Roderick. Smash, by the way. Oh my god.
The original?
Yes! Oh my god! Yes! But what I realized is that I am Roderick. Like, I have little siblings. I am Roderick to them. I'm like, when they come into high school, I'm like, you're gonna f***ing suck.
You're gonna die.
You're gonna hate it. Your teachers are gonna call you slurs. They're gonna kill you. You're gonna get killed. They're gonna kill you!
We're gonna eat you alive.
Yeah, they're gonna get you! Like, one of Roderick's rules is like, don't do something when you can make somebody else do it for you. I'm like, yes! Like, me too!
I need to watch those movies again so
Right.
bad.
Oh, dude, they're so good. And
They
so,
are.
like,
I remember
watched
they
the
used
new
to
one.
always be on Cartoon Network, and
Yes!
I'd always, like,
RIP, by the way. RIP Cartoon Network.
rest in peace.
Literally.
Right.
So I watched the new one. It was good. It won't ever have, like, the charm like what it once was.
No.
You know? But people give it and they don't even watch it. Like, yeah, it's not the original actor, but he still did a really good job portraying Roderick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't Roderick, but it was still, like...
It was a Roderick.
It was a
like
Roderick.
A variant Roderick.
That TVA Roderick.
Yeah, they're gonna, what is it, prune? Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah,
prune
they
him.
pruned him. They have the original cast. They got him. They're working with Loki in movies right now.
Yeah, right. Okay, a few minutes of battery. We're gonna wrap up Labyrinth. We can keep talking,
Yeah.
but we need to wrap up
We need to
Labyrinth.
wrap up Labyrinth.
There's gonna be a lot of editing on this podcast. I'm
There's
gonna
like
say
3
no.
hours of
We've been on
film.
so many tangents.
Damn.
This has been fun.
This is
will
wonderful.
say.
I love
This is a great time.
I've had a great time. Okay, Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Finishing thoughts?
I mean, it's a cute little 80s fantasy ride, you know? It's a nice fairy tale, watch with the fam.
Yeah. I think, like, the more I talk about it, the more I like it, in theory. But I'm rewatching it.
You like the idea of it,
yeah, I'm
but, like,
rewatching it in my
you
head.
don't like the actual...
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
rewatching it in my head a little bit, and I'm like, I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't, if I had the choice, I wouldn't watch it again. But as I said earlier, you know, if somebody was playing on their TV, I'd sit down and watch.
Yeah. And, like, you don't need to like something necessarily to appreciate it,
No.
too. Yeah. And, like, I think we all have stuff like that. And Labyrinth, like, there is a lot to appreciate, for sure.
I appreciate everything that happened in the movie. I love the movie. Like, I hate the movie and I love the movie from two standpoints. I love the movie from an artistic.
Alright. The stupid thing...
Ow!
Oh. You know what? We don't need it.
No, I'd like it, please. I look dark. Ow! Dude! Ow!
Okay.
Right in my eyes again!
Here, I'll point it away. Okay. So, we keep running out of, battery on our recording devices because I didn't sufficiently prepare. And I don't know where we just cut off. I think it's best we just
Yeah.
end this, because this sucks. So, Labyrinth, it's a very interesting movie to think about, very interesting to talk about. Nothing felt wasted, whatever.
Good times.
Good times had by
Yeah,
all.
yes. Great movie. Everything that was in there needed to be in there. There was no wasting of time. They got right to the point. They got right to the conflict. They got right to everything. There's no point in time where I wasn't, you know, like, this didn't need to be happening. Everything was quick. You got the conflict about within the first 10 minutes of the movie, and it was good.
It was good. I concur.
It was very good, and we concur.
Yes. Yes.
My nose is itchy.
Tune in next time on the Pulp Diction podcast for more quality film discussion.
Bye!
Bye now.